I am part of the student programs team here at Amazon, and I will take you through what is student programs and what opportunities we can support you with. Before I start that, I like to always start the events with asking a question to the audience. What are you what are you expecting to know from this session, and and what are the things that you would like to know about Amazon? And we can always discuss at the end of the session. So just leave a couple of minutes for everyone to tell me what he's expecting from this session, and then we can take it forward.
Great, and everybody, you guys can use the chat functionality for this. If you want to also put things on Q&A, I can already say, Adam, there has been a question about the qualifications that you're looking for, how to present that within a CV. I'm seeing AWS certifications, whether or not that would be required.
Yes.
Fresh graduates versus non-fresh graduates. What are the different opportunities that are available? Co-op opportunities. I think that's
Yep.
particularly for Saudi universities. That's particularly interesting. So it's so yeah, and those are. Okay, when we're seeing full-time opportunities, so I guess full-time versus internship opportunities, um, or summer internships, as Sarah has mentioned just now in the chat.
Perfect. So can you see my screen now? I'll just do it
Yes, we can.
on.
And I think if you just scroll just
Yeah.
go down the slides, that would work.
Yeah, I will just not do a slideshow, so we are. So, okay, so thank you for everyone for participating. We're just trying to get the PowerPoint working. So thank you for what you shared. And I will answer most of the questions that you have already asked. But again, if I don't answer anything on my presentation, please feel free to stay for the Q&As and I can answer all your questions. So as of today, I'm just gonna take you through what the agenda is. What is Amazon? Basically, I know everyone knows what is Amazon, but I'll just give you a little bit more insights about Amazon in general. I'll be talking about student programs, which is the team that I am heading in the MENA region. I will let you know what is the recruitment process, how you can apply, and how to have an edge in your application. Then at the end, we will take Q&As. So with that said, I will just move to the slides about Amazon. So at Amazon, we have a very interesting culture, which is we all believe that every day is day one, meaning it's a startup mentality, meaning every day is day one. Again, I'm not really seeing the comments in the chat. I prefer these to be like more lively sessions than just one way for me explaining. So what does day one mean to anyone here participating today? Like when I say day one, what does it mean for you? No one? Yes, I see someone. Excitement for the new job. Yes, exactly.
And giving 120%, I think Faisal
Yeah,
mentioned. So
yeah.
like starting strong.
Exactly. That's actually exactly it. So basically, day one culture means that we're always learning. We're always excited for what's next. It's always a new day. So that's how we all work and embrace our culture. Basically, every day is day one. We will never get to day two, because day two is kind of boring. You are already acquainted with the role, with the job. You don't want to push or give your 120% like Faisal said. So that's why we always believe it's always day one at Amazon. Next, I would be talking about the mission. So again, reading our mission statement, I'm not going to read it, it's on the screen, but basically there is a keyword here in the mission. Can anyone identify it? I need more participation, guys. If you're looking for an internship, I need more participation. I remember your names. Can anyone identify the keyword here? Obsess, yes. Customer centric, yes. Okay, good. So again, uh, the mission is to be Earth's most customer-centric company. The key word here is Earth. We are aiming to be the Earth most customer-centric company. Again, we always start with the customer in head, whether it's interns, whether it's our vendors, whether it's our internal stakeholders. We always start from the customer and work forward towards that. So that's what we're aiming for. We're always aiming to be Earth most customer-centric company, and that's I think we kind of are there or getting there. And anyone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, with that said, again, there are things that how to say it like influence everyone at Amazon here, and these are the leadership principles. And this is our Quran, Bible, Torah, whatever, however you want to call it. This is our code that we live by. There are 16 leadership principles. I'm not going to go through each one of them, basically, as you can see them on the slide. But again, as you can see, first one, they have no specific order. But as you can see, the first one is customer obsession. Again, customer obsession is always in the back of our head. And I know that obsess is not it's not a good positive word, let's put it that way, but that's how we see it. You know, we want to be obsessed with our customer. We want to sleep, breathe, everything, get to what makes the customer happy and then work backwards from there, trying to invent solutions, products, and deliver on that. The leadership principles are super, super important, and this is basically what you will be assessed on in the interviews. I'll go through them, I'll go through the process later, but again, you will hear me talking a lot about the leadership principles, and this is something that you really need to focus on. Again, these are competencies, behavioral competencies that you have or you do not have, whether you will fit the company culture or not. It's not something that is transferable. It's not something that it can be taught with or it can be acquired with years, but it's either you have it or you don't have it. So next slide would be just a few numbers, data numbers. As you can see on the slide, we are 1 million Amazonians. We like to refer to ourselves as Amazonian. These are 1 million employees globally. And that's only the full time. So obviously you would have contractors, you would have part time, you would have some of these. So we're definitely more than 1 million as well. 27% of worldwide sales are done outside of the US market. So our 27, nearly 30% of the sales of Amazon globally are done outside of the US market. We have 175 plus fulfillment centers. These are the warehouses across all locations, all the globe, as you can see in the map in front of you. And we have 300 million plus accounts, active accounts on Amazon, meaning that's just to put things in perspective, that's basically the population of Japan, UK, France, and South Africa combined. And again, just a small point I would like always to make clear. Sometimes people use other people's account. Like, for example, if I have an account, my mom would use it, my brother would use it, all of these things. So again, 300 million, I don't think that's the correct number of users, but it's the data we have for now. The next slide, I am going to talk about the businesses at Amazon. So as most of you know, Amazon, you go on the app, you go on the website, you order your things, and that's it. Actually, it's not that. Amazon is a really huge company, and we do have many different businesses under the Amazon umbrella. First one is retail or e-commerce, is what you guys experience every day. Then we do have, for example, devices, which is Alexa, Kindle. We do have Amazon Payments, which is a payment company that secures payments for other companies. We do have Amazon Web Services, obviously, and we do have many other businesses. Like we just launched last year in the US Project Coupier. I'm not sure if anyone has heard about it, but that's basically a solution for low-cost internet into developing countries. So again, we're super expanding. There is also Rivia in the US, which is an electric vehicle. Again, we're always growing. There's always more, businesses coming in. There's always more opportunities. So this was a quick overview. Again, if anyone has any question, please feel free to ask me at the end of the session. But with that said, I will move on uh, to the slides that we are all waiting. So, as I said, I'm part of the student programs team. So, student programs team is a global team. We are based in more than 40 countries and we have more than 100 roles across all these locations. When I say 100 roles, it doesn't mean that I'm hiring for 100 roles. I mean that I have over 100 job codes, meaning differentiating from tech or non-tech, marketing, HR, finance, software development engineers, product managers, vendors, and all of these roles. So we're a huge team. We're a global team. I am part of the EMEA team, and again, I'm leading the MENA and Turkey hire. With that said, we do have two roles or two different segments that we hire in, non-tech and tech roles. So for the non-tech roles, you could see a few examples of these roles are on the screen. I'm not going to go through all of them again. You can see them. But um, as you can see, non-tech roles are mainly roles that do not require a lot of technical experience or technical knowledge, which are like account manager, marketing, financial analyst, business analyst, program manager, product manager. All of these roles are considered as non-tech roles at Amazon. Someone asked me, what are the eligibility criteria? So here are your eligibility criteria. So for these roles, specifically in Saudi, since we are talking about Saudi, we have internship roles in Saudi. I'll share with you at the end of this session what roles we have exactly. But basically, the requirements for you to apply to these roles are here. First, obviously, it's something very basic, which is your interest in applying in the role. You should have an interest to apply to a marketing role, account manager role, whatever the role you are wanting to apply to. Second thing is to have your graduation date between June 2024 to June 2026, meaning that in summer you will be graduating or going to your third or fourth year university, depending on your major. If it's engineering, maybe fourth or fifth year, um, ultimate and penultimate year. Let me put it that way. Available for a minimum of 3 months to a maximum of 6 months internship. I know some people asked about co-ops, and I know in co-ops in Saudi that co-ops start in August. We already had the Jan intake, and the next ones will be in July, August. It differs from university to university. I know that as well. Maybe 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, whatever it is. But you should be able, or you need to commit to a minimum of 3 months of internship with us to be able to be eligible. Again, you need to commit for 40 hours a week. That's 5 working days. But we are flexible in our approach. We require you to go to the office 3 days a week, and 2 days can be working from home. Either it's if you want to come to the office, you come to the office, you work from home, you want to sit in a cafe by the beach, whatever it is that you prefer, whatever it is that's comfortable for you. But as long as you can commit and actually work on your deliverables. English language fluency is also kind of, I'm not going to say it's a must, but it's always there just because, as I said, we are a huge company. We are working, across regions. You're always expected to connect with other peers somewhere else. So obviously having English is basic and is actually something needed to be able to connect with your peers. Then I will go through the tech opportunities. Again, I'm not going to go through each one of these roles, but tech roles are basically roles that require you to have some technical expertise or technical knowledge or technical education, however you want to put it. Some of these roles are as software development engineer, solutions architect, even a technical trainer can be considered as a technical role. Again, the requirements, they are the same. I'm not gonna go through them again. But obviously for a tech role, you need to have some kind of experience or a plus is required, which is programming. If you're doing, for example, software development engineer, you should be familiar with the programming languages such as Java, C, C++, Python, all of these things. And again, knowledge of computer science fundamentals such as object-oriented design, algorithm design data, all of these things are appreciated into a tech role. Next, we have the benefits. So what's in it for you to intern with us? Yes, I know Amazon is a great company to have you on your CV. Everyone wants to do an internship, but actually we do care about our interns and we do provide you with benefits that you might not really find them somewhere else. First one, which is pretty basic, and I don't really think it's something very strong, but it's a paid internship. Again, I believe, and and this is just me probably, but I believe at this stage of your career, there are more important things than a competitive pay for an internship, but yet we do still offer paid internships. The most important things are the next things coming into the slide. So from day one, you are paired with a manager and a technical mentor, meaning that from day one you join, you have your hiring manager that you can rely on, and you have someone, a mentor called or buddy or whatever you want to call it. This person helps you navigate through the company, navigate through any questions you might have. I don't know, where is the bathroom? Where can I park? What can I do? You know, you always have questions that are normal for people that just joined, or even technical stuff. They can help you with it. So that's number two. Number three, we have something called internship program team. And this is a team within student program. So I'm in charge of recruitment. There is the team that looks after the program itself. And this team is always working into making your experience better, meaning they connect with you and they help you connect with other interns across other locations, across other locales, and do networking events and all of these things. Fourth one, professional and personal networking. So one thing at Amazon we always encourage is to speak to people, no matter the level, no matter where they are, no matter who he is. So you're always empowered to connect and network with people. And I think this is a really good thing, not because it's about who you know in the company or something like that, but it's in general, even for your future. You are someone starting your life now into a career. Maybe I meet the director of retail, for example, and I make a very good rapport with him. 5 years along the line, 10 years across the line, he goes somewhere else. He knows me. He knows I'm good. Maybe I can go with them. Maybe I cannot. It's just, networking in general with people. Again, I'm not telling you, I wouldn't want you to leave Amazon, obviously, but I'm telling you, out of experience and out of life experience, it's always good to connect with people, and it's always good to have these, networking sessions. Let's put it that way. Number five is career growth opportunities. Again, at Amazon, we're very big on career growth opportunities, and it's just because it's simply because we are a huge company. As I said, you have seven, eight, nine, 10 businesses that you can move across. You can actually, and growth doesn't necessarily mean vertical growth. You can also grow horizontally. For example, I've been at Amazon for 3 years and a half now. I've done already four different roles. So that's growth. It doesn't mean that if I'm moving, let's say, for example, from marketing to sales, but the same level, it's not a growth. No, it is a growth because I'm learning new skills. I'm learning new things at my job. So that's growth for me. Last but not least, if you complete the internship, uh, once you do the internship, let's say there is something called intern evaluation meeting. That's at the end of the internship. This is done by your manager with his skip manager or his director, and they discuss your performance. If you did well in this internship, you might be considered for a full-time role. Meaning, if you have graduated, let's say, and you already are doing an internship, you can be considered for a full-time role if we have available roles. If you have not graduated, and if, let's say, you're in your third year in university and you did really well, and you have to go to study back 1 year, we can actually offer you before you go onto your fourth year. So you go into your fourth year and you come back knowing that you'll finish June, July, whatever it is, and you have a secure job already after graduating. So this is huge, to be honest. I've never seen it anywhere else. I haven't had it when I was studying. I wish I had something like that, to be honest, to start your career at one of the big companies when you're, what, 20, 21 years old. It's a huge thing, to be honest. With that said, I will take you through the recruitment process and timelines. Um, recruitment process. So first thing is obviously to go onto Amazon.jobs, find the roles you want. There are filters as well. If you filter student programs, KSA or Saudi Arabia, you will find all the roles into Saudi Arabia. So first, that's the first step. Once you apply to the role you want, there will be an online assessment, depending if it's a tech or non-tech role. If it's a non-tech role, you will be assessed on the leadership principles that I shared earlier. I'm going to give you some tips. If you want to take them, take them. If you don't, don't. So basically, these online assessments will be situational questions. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just what you think will happen in this situation. So once you answer these questions and you pass the online assessment, you are then sent to the interview if you pass the online assessment. The interviews are consisting of two loops. So the first loop is an analytical case, depends again if it's a tech or non-tech role. If it's a non-tech role, it will be an analytical case revolving around Excel, measuring your analytical skills, linked to the leadership principles as well. And if it's a tech role, it will be a live coding exercise with the hiring manager. Both these cases or coding cases, they are live with the interviewer, meaning you can ask questions, you can interact, and you are actually expected to do that. So you have to speak with them to be able to get some conclusions. The second loop will be mainly revolving around leadership principles in general. So leadership principles, as I said, these are competencies. These are behavioral competencies. You should know how to, answer these questions, and I'll tell you how to answer them later in the upcoming slides. But again, as an intern or as a fresh grad, we don't expect you to have all the technical know-how. We know you don't have it. We actually are investing more in you as a person. Do you have these qualitative competencies, skills? Yes or no? If you have them, then everything else is transferable. But if you don't have them, it would take time, to transfer, I don't know, ownership or bias for action or, learn and be curious. I want to learn and be curious. So that's the interviewing process. After you are finishing the interview process, you are sent a candidate feedback survey. As I said, if you remember from the beginning, customer obsession. We always obsess onto our customers. So you are our customers in these interviews. We are sending you a survey asking you, how was your interview? How was the process? How was your interviewer? How was your recruiter? Is there anything else we can, improve? Once you give us that feedback, we work on it always to improve our process to the end customer, which is you or the hiring manager or whoever it is. Once you do the interviews, you should hear back from us 5 working days after your last interview. And hopefully, if you are inclined or you had a passing vote, you are sent an offer and then it's your day one. The behavioral interviews. Yes. So as I said, the behavioral interviews, these are the leadership principles. I already covered them. And again, I am going to keep talking about them. Leadership principles, leadership principles, leadership principles. It's something you really need to focus on. I know they might seem something difficult, but they really are not. And I will give you tips on how to prepare basically for these interviews. But before that, in the interviews, we like to be a little bit structured. So has anyone here heard about STAR approach or the STAR method? I'm looking at the chat. Yes, Fatima. Yes, Malak. Yes, yes, Abdul. Okay. So since you already know them, but I will go through them. So basically, as I said, in these interviews, we want you to be structured, meaning not because we want to make it difficult on you, but you need to understand that this interviewer probably is doing 30 interviews that day and he needs to follow up with each and every story. If you come and tell me something, I wouldn't be able, to follow up because you're not structured in your approach. So this helps you being structured. So the STAR method means situation. First, you explain what was the situation that you were in. T is the task. What was the task that you were given? A, action. What was the action that you took for that task? And R, results. What are the end results for this session, this example, basically. So if you follow this approach, I can guarantee you 100% you will pass the interviews. We really like to be, as I said, for you to be structured, not for us to just, make life difficult for you, but we really want to follow up with your story. We really want to know what's happening, and we will ask you questions. Again, the questions are not for us to just be difficult. It's just for us to understand more. So when you are asked the question back in the interview, it's not because the interviewer wants to make things difficult or he's trying to make you fail the interview. No, on the other side, he really wants you to succeed. So he's trying to probe more to let you, give you more chances to explain yourself better. So this is the STAR approach. And as I said, how to prepare. So as I said, first thing, it's not written here, leadership principles. Open Google, Amazon leadership principles, find them. Okay, you'll get 16 of them. Once you have them, read through them and actually understand them. Once you have these projects, you review your projects you've worked on. I know that most of you might not have a lot of experience as a previous intern or anything. We are fine with university projects. If you worked in a project in university, you can always, present it as an example, but just make sure that it is a strong example and make sure that you prepare it using the STAR approach, as I said, having it very structured. And again, be ready for follow-up questions. As I said, we will ask you questions. It's not because we want to make things difficult. No, it's actually because we really are interested in this example and we want to, move forward. And last thing is prepare questions for your interviewers. Preparing questions for your interviewers, I always suggest for people to ask questions, but my advice to you, do not ask something that's easily Google, findable on the internet. Meaning, like, do not go and ask the interviewer, how many employees does Amazon have? I can easily Google how many employees does Amazon have. I'll have. Ask them questions more related to the role, more related to the team, more related to the region, for example. What roles, how does my day-to-day look like? How many members of the team? Uh, what's the impact of us of this role on the bigger, team? You need to ask these questions that are not clear for you in the beginning or are not clear for you from the job description. It's always your chance to ask these interviewers or the hiring manager to actually make sure that this is the right fit for you. It's not like you have to take it or we have to take it. Maybe sometimes you don't like it or maybe you don't want this after you understand the role. So it's very important for you to read about the role you're applying to, understand it and find it. And again, if I think there's a lot of content out there. If you just Google it, you will find it. I think there are even videos on YouTube. Like if you write a brand specialist at Amazon, you would see videos of what their day-to-day looks like and things like that. So next slide would be the interview outcome. As I said, we do have something called the 2 and 5 promise, which is something for recruitment at Amazon, and we do promise to give you feedback 5 working days after your last interview. Meaning, if I did an interview on Monday, I would hear back the next Monday whether I'm accepted or not accepted. Um, if offered the role, a potential start date will be agreed. Yes, so these internships, they are all summer internships. They will start in uh, June, July, August, maybe even May if you finish before. And we are flexible with the start date, meaning if you have to start in June, we are flexible. If you need to start in July, we are flexible, as long as you can commit to the minimum of 3 months, or you can actually do 6 months after that. So we're flexible. Onboarding process takes 4 weeks. Yes, that's the last thing after you get your offer. Basically, you are sent to the onboarding team, which mainly takes 3 to 4 weeks to get you on board and connect you with your hiring manager and give you all the plan that you need to know before joining us. With that said, I think I am done with my presentation. You will see a QR code on the screen. Please scan the QR code. Please register yourself so I can actually track your application once you apply. And this will show once you register and put your data, we will find all the roles that are available in Saudi, and you will find also interviewing tips, how to interview at Amazon. You will find many different information that will be helpful for you actually. And also, I see Ahmad shared to check the opportunities on localized. Please apply on both, but just this QR code is for me to know who was actually listening to this session and actually took action. So sorry, Ahmed, for sharing this QR code, but
No, no,
we're open to
on the
questions.
contrary. And there should be a link between the people coming in
Both of
through
them.
localized and the QR code. Absolutely. I mean, and we do share with Adam, guys, the participants list. So there is, so I'm totally confident or comfortable there. And Adam, thank you so much for this very insightful presentation. I think you lay out the steps very clearly. I think you've given some really great advice to our participants. I'm seeing quite a few questions, and so we'll try to go through all of them in the next 8 minutes
Yeah,
before our next session. And
sure,
if not, we will be able to reach out to some of these
sure,
users later to make sure that we get all. I
sure.
think the first question that I'm seeing is with regards to where to find jobs, and I saw a couple of comments on chat. Some people seem to have gone onto the Amazon websites as you were talking, trying to figure out what opportunities are or where to find the roles. I mean,
Yeah,
I leave you the answer. I think there's not always a job for everybody all the time, right? It's
yeah.
jobs
It
come
it
and
depends.
go, but I'll
Exactly.
leave you to respond to that.
Yeah. So again, as I said, we as student programs, we serve all businesses. So it depends on what demand this business has at this specific time. You will find the roles onto the Amazon.jobs page, basically. So I saw a question while I was talking. I don't see IT internships. Yes, at the moment there are no IT internships, but they might open in the next month or two. So always look out for Amazon.jobs. Always look for the roles. If there is something, you can you will see it, and or just put notifications on LinkedIn or just check on localized. You have many different ways to do it. So yeah,
And I see another question in the Q&A that I wanted to actually ask about with regards to case study materials. Does that exist in the Amazon ecosystem, or there are case study materials that people can download and I guess
you will
practice
not
on?
you should there should be a practice. Yes, it will be similar. I can give you a tip, guys, and it will basically be an Excel. You will be having a case study. Let's say, I don't know, we have a promotion Black Friday, and you need to find the sales, something like that, and you will be measured on Excel. I cannot say more than that, but that's my tip to you. Brush up on your Excel skills, and that and again, they are not super difficult. Uh, they like, how to call it, equations and all of these things, but you will be asked to actually look into the data and provide a proper answer to your interviewer. And again, as I said, your interviewer is there to help you. He's not against you. He wants you to succeed. So always ask them questions on the case studies.
There was another interesting question, Adam, about internships being collaborative or more individualized kind of tasks. Uh, is there an overall question answer to that, or does that depend on the role that you're applying to?
When we say collaborative, we mean, what do
Working with
we
other departments, working
Yes,
with
yes, yes,
team
for sure.
members,
You
working
will
with
always, yeah,
yeah.
that's not. So basically, just as a simple thing, when you come as an intern, you're not actually treated as an intern. You're treated as a full-time employee. So yes, any employee the dives deep with other teams, they connect with other teams, you work with other teams, and as I said, you are encouraged to network always with everyone. So yes, there is very high collaboration.
Amazing. There's another question, I guess, more specific to technical roles. And the question was around whether a person would need to memorize code. Is it open source code, or are they actually just like being put on the spot where they're given a task and they actually have to start
Yes.
creating code for that on the.
Exactly.
in the
So
interview.
it's the second one. So basically, once you are on the interview, you are given a task and you will be doing live coding. Again, as I said, there is an interviewer there. His job is to help you, not to be against you. So if you have any doubt about anything, just ask them. They will be more than happy to help you. But yes, it's a live coding exercise that you will be giving once
Cool.
you join.
That's clear. That's a very clear answer. A second one, I actually hear this regularly when I'm talking to recruiters. Can you apply for multiple roles at the same time?
Yes, you can apply to all the roles that you would like. We have no issue in that. I also, sorry, Ahmed, if you would allow me, I saw a question
Yes.
because this is important as well. Someone was asking if I am in dentistry, can I apply to any of the roles? Yes, as I said, we do not restrict faculties as long as you pass the online assessment and the interviews. That's what's matter because, as I said, we look for the cultural fit more than the technical background. So anyone from any faculty is open to welcome to apply to any of the roles that are non-tech, as we do not really restrict it.
So that actually leads to another question that I personally had. I don't see it on the chat. Do you differentiate between like formal education? So I got a university degree in this, or I've gone ahead and done some courses online to upskill myself.
So if you do courses online, it's always good. It's always a positive thing, you know. But as a standard rule, we only hire bachelors or people enrolled in their bachelors. So if you're doing a diploma or something like this, you would not really fit the eligibility criteria, unfortunately.
Okay, that's clear. And then are there, I mean, I'll leave you to answer, but there are some questions about certifications, particularly as they relate to the AWS cloud and whether
Yeah,
you would need the certification to apply to a solutions architect. Um,
we do not
no,
need
you would
your
not.
technical expertise. Once you join as a solutions architect intern, they will invest in you and you
Mm.
will do these certifications, yes or yes, when you are there.
Oh, amazing. Okay, that's actually that's so as long as you have the minimum skills required, go for it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Go for
I
it.
have
And everything else, it's on us to actually make you empower you and make you get to the level that we need you to be.
and that's I think that's really actually something quite unique about what you've described today.
Thank you.
So you mentioned the leadership. Oh, and I'm sorry, I've lost my
Principle.
the leadership principles, and they come up in the interviews. Is there a way to showcase leadership principles before the interview process, so within your CV?
Uh,
And I know that might be a bit of a tricky question, I know.
it
And
it
if
is a
not,
tricky
what can I
question.
do in my CV to get to the interview step?
So to be honest with you, CVs, yes, are always good. So what can you do in your CV? Be as more as direct as you can. Do not send the 7 pages of CV. 1, 2 pages, they are fine. That's my first comment. What can you add on your CV to make your application more visible? If there are any skills required for the job, for example, for the let's say business analyst requires prefers qualifications as SQL and Python. If you put them in the CV, obviously the recruiter would see it and would actually give priority or something.
Amazing.
So yeah,
Uh,
that's it.
Go, okay, amazing. So I'm there's a ton of questions still to go through. I think I'm gonna I think just one question I'm seeing it come up often, which is what if you apply from different links? I assume everything kind of pools into a singular
Yeah,
database. So
yeah,
it doesn't really matter where you're applying from. It
yeah,
all comes down to
yeah,
and use the QR code, guys, that Adam shared.
yeah.
So if you want to make sure that you're on his radar, please make use of that.
Yeah, and the sorry, just to say something here for the applications, basically, even if you go onto LinkedIn or localized or anything, it will ask you to, or redirect you to Amazon.jobs. So if you want to make things easier, just go onto Amazon.jobs. But again, I encourage everyone to apply onto localized itself, so we actually know the numbers and we can track this.
And unfortunately, we're already a minute over our time. Thank you so much, Adam, for your time. For everybody that we haven't gotten to answer your questions, we will be taking note of all the questions that have been asked. We'll communicate with Adam, and then where applicable, post them possibly on the Amazon page on localized. The upcoming session, and Adam, I think maybe you'll agree with me on this. Doesn't matter what role you're doing in project management in large companies is a skill set that is always helpful, whether you're in tech, whether you're in business. So our next session is careers in project management for young Saudis, and we're meeting Mohammed Zidane, and he's talking to us about the day of a project manager. So please, everybody, do make your way across to that upcoming event. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Adam, thank you so much for your time. This presentation has truly been very helpful in understanding the process of Amazon. Is there any last thing that you'd like to share with our audience before we move on?
No, thank you, Ahmed, and thank you for everyone who participated. Really a pleasure to connect with you all and see everyone eager with their questions. I would love for you all to apply. Please apply as soon as you can. And if anyone would like to reach out, you can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Adam Hussein. Please reach out. And yeah, thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Have a good day, everyone.